The debate surrounding officiating in international rugby has once again become one of the biggest talking points in the sport, and this time the spotlight has fallen squarely on World Rugby and the growing influence of referees, television match officials, and disciplinary decisions during major test matches. Across the latest round of the Nations Championship, fans, coaches, former internationals, and analysts have been left asking whether modern rugby has reached a point where crucial matches are being shaped more by officiating decisions than by the performances of the players themselves. Every weekend delivers spectacular tries, incredible defensive efforts, and unforgettable moments of skill. Yet discussions after the final whistle often focus less on the rugby and more on yellow cards, red cards, bunker reviews, and TMO interventions. That growing frustration has now been echoed by former Wallabies head coach Ewen McKenzie, who believes the current system deserves serious examination if rugby wants to maintain both fairness and entertainment. According to McKenzie, the issue is not about removing discipline or ignoring dangerous play. Instead, he argues that the punishment attached to temporary suspensions has become so severe that it can completely alter the outcome of elite test matches, regardless of how evenly matched two sides might be before the incident occurs. His comments have reignited a worldwide discussion involving coaches, former players, and supporters from nations including the All Blacks, Springboks, Wallabies, England, Ireland, France, Scotland, Argentina, Italy, and many others, all asking the same question. Has the balance between protecting players and preserving competitive contests shifted too far? The conversation gathered momentum after respected former All Blacks coach Sir Steve Hansen shared similar concerns while discussing modern officiating. Throughout his coaching career, Hansen experienced countless high-pressure test matches where discipline often proved decisive. Yet even he believes rugby should remain open to innovation if it means improving the spectacle without compromising player welfare. Rather than suggesting dangerous play should go unpunished, Hansen has encouraged the sport to explore alternative sanctioning methods that could reduce the immediate impact of certain offenses while still ensuring players remain accountable after the game. One concept attracting attention is a system similar to rugby league's on-report process, where some incidents are reviewed after the final whistle instead of automatically leading to lengthy periods with one team playing a man short. Such an approach would still allow disciplinary committees to issue suspensions or fines where appropriate, but it could reduce the enormous scoreboard swings that frequently occur during 10 or 20-minute numerical disadvantages. Whether supporters agree or disagree with that proposal, it has succeeded in starting a conversation that extends far beyond one tournament or one controversial decision. It raises fundamental questions about what rugby wants its identity to be over the next decade and whether current laws are achieving the balance between safety, justice, and entertainment that administrators have been seeking. One statistic repeatedly discussed by analysts is how dramatically momentum changes whenever a team loses a player to the sin bin. Modern test rugby is faster, more structured, and more physically demanding than ever before. Defensive systems require 14 players working together with almost perfect communication, while attacking teams have become exceptionally skilled at identifying and exploiting even the smallest defensive mismatch. As a result, when one player leaves the field, opponents frequently score multiple tries before numerical equality is restored. Those rapid scoring bursts often prove impossible to recover from, regardless of how well the penalized side performs during the remainder of the contest. Critics argue that this effectively means a single officiating decision can outweigh 80 minutes of preparation, tactical planning, and player execution. Supporters of the current laws respond that this is precisely the point. Dangerous actions should carry meaningful consequences to encourage better technique and safer play. Both perspectives carry weight, which explains why the debate has become one of the most fascinating issues facing international rugby today. Modern technology has also transformed the responsibilities of officials. Referees now work alongside assistant referees, TMOs, and bunker review systems that provide multiple camera angles and slow-motion replays, capable of revealing incidents invisible at full speed. While these innovations have undoubtedly improved accuracy in many situations, they have also increased scrutiny and extended stoppages, sometimes disrupting the natural rhythm of the game. Fans regularly celebrate when technology corrects an obvious mistake, but frustration quickly emerges when lengthy reviews interrupt exciting passages of play or when marginal incidents dominate post-match discussions instead of outstanding performances by world-class athletes. For governing bodies, this presents a difficult balancing act. Technology has made rugby safer and more accountable, yet every additional review also raises expectations of perfection. An impossible standard in a fast-moving, physical sport where split-second judgments remain unavoidable. As international rugby continues to evolve, the challenge for World Rugby is not simply deciding whether the current system is right or wrong. The greater challenge is finding a framework that protects players, supports officials, and still allows the world's best teams, from the Springboks and All Blacks to England, Ireland, France, Scotland, Argentina, Wallabies, and Italy, to decide the biggest test matches through their rugby rather than prolonged debates about disciplinary procedures. That discussion is unlikely to disappear anytime soon, and with every major tournament placing even greater pressure on referees and players alike, the search for the right balance may become one of the defining stories of modern rugby. As this debate continues to gather momentum, many former internationals believe the issue extends far beyond a single yellow card or one controversial decision. Instead, they argue that rugby has gradually evolved into a sport where the fear of punishment influences almost every tackle, clean-out, and contest at the breakdown. Coaches spend countless hours preparing players not only to beat their opponents but also to avoid situations that could attract the attention of referees or the TMO. Defensive coaches now dedicate entire training sessions to tackle height, body position, and entry angles because even the slightest technical error can lead to a costly sanction. While these coaching methods have undoubtedly contributed to making the game safer, critics wonder whether they have also made players hesitant during crucial moments. Rugby has always been celebrated as one of the toughest and most physical sports in the world, but the modern version increasingly demands split-second technical perfection under immense pressure. For elite internationals representing nations such as the Springboks, All Blacks, Wallabies, England, Ireland, France, Scotland, Argentina, and Italy, there is almost no margin for error. Former Wallabies head coach Ewen McKenzie believes that this growing emphasis on sanctions deserves a serious review rather than a quick reaction. From his perspective, the objective should never be to weaken player safety or remove accountability. Instead, the conversation should focus on whether current punishments are producing the fairest possible outcomes during test matches. A single yellow card can dramatically change momentum, particularly between two evenly matched international teams where opportunities are already limited. When one side is forced to defend with only 14 players, attacking teams often increase the tempo, stretch the defensive line, and create overlaps that simply would not exist during a full-strength contest. The result is frequently a burst of tries that transforms a closely fought battle into a one-sided scoreboard, even if the overall performances remain relatively even throughout the 80 minutes. That concern has also been echoed by legendary former All Blacks coach Sir Steve Hansen, whose coaching career included World Cup triumphs, rugby championship victories, and countless high-pressure test encounters. Having witnessed the evolution of rugby across several decades, Hansen understands better than most how quickly momentum can change at international level. He has suggested that rugby should remain open-minded about examining different disciplinary models if they can preserve fairness without compromising player welfare. His comments are not about making the sport less strict. Rather, they are about ensuring that sanctions remain proportionate to the offenses committed. According to many experienced coaches, the conversation is no longer simply about whether an incident deserves punishment, but whether the current in-match consequences have become greater than originally intended. This debate has become especially relevant because the overall standard of international rugby has never been higher. Teams like the Springboks continue to showcase immense physical power and tactical intelligence under head coach Rassie Erasmus, while the All Blacks consistently demonstrate their trademark attacking creativity. Ireland, led by coach Andy Farrell, have established themselves among the world's elite through remarkable consistency, while France under Fabien Galthy have developed one of the most exciting squads in international rugby. The Wallabies, England, Scotland, Argentina, and Italy have all continued investing in player development, making the gap between leading nations smaller than ever before. In such a competitive environment, even the smallest officiating decision can have enormous consequences.